night TangoLOG broadcast. It's like almost 1 o'clock here in Buenos Aires. Yeah, I guess I'm a master of procrastination. You know that I actually had a friend here who did not know what the word procrastinate meant. I guess maybe in Spanish they don't use it that much. But anyways, I've been practicing that since I was like in high school, so lots of practice for that. Anyways, yeah, so oops, I guess I got a little delayed in the broadcast. But anyways, here I am. Yeah, so I had said the last session that I wanted to keep certain sessions short, but then I just ended up getting really nervous and talking and almost hyperventilating. So I think maybe I'll just blab away and then I'll edit into a summary session someday at the end, like after a month of broadcast, which is at the end of this week. So anyways, I wanted to talk a little bit to address what happened like in the last session. So actually I was really happy because like I received some specific comments, related to Tango and technique, like, questions and comments about maybe something I was doing wrong. So I was actually really happy, but unfortunately one of them kind of deteriorated into like comments that were not so nice, because I think maybe if you're not listening to what I'm talking about in English, like you don't really realize what the project is about. And so, I basically asked the commenter if he would like to participate by showing what he was talking about in video as well. And I think maybe that came off the wrong way, which is too bad. I really would have liked if somebody else would like to join in and like maybe film something about either something that I'm working on specifically or something they're working on, and post it in the TangoLOG group, which would be great. Yeah, like I guess it is kind of scary to broadcast live and post the video, and like maybe you think you look like crap, but you can remember, like I do, that this helped me keep going, is that I just remember that I look just as bad in the milonga or I just look just as bad in real life. So whatever, might as well just keep going, right, and try to put this project together. But anyways, so I guess on that note, well, of course, thanks to all the people who are watching and who supported me in this little discussion in the commentaries. But anyways, I do want to go over the valid points, like the specific points that the commenter said, which was, I was lacking dissociation and, discharging the weight. And so now, yeah, I think those are great points, it's actually so far, like, I haven't even really said talked about any tango concepts, really. Like, I've put the flowers in random places and talked about some points, and connections that help me feel better within my body, so I guess, like, what did he talk about? Yeah, so what was I gonna say? Here we have, my bucket of sorrows, and yeah, he had mentioned like dissociation, which I think is great. Let's see, so that's for the future, right? So dissociation, he mentioned something about the center, yeah, something about projection, which is actually really interesting because projection is kind of a testy subject with me. That's a big difference. Some people project, some people don't project. I think that's like a topic that I'm not ready to attack yet or like resolve yet, right? I don't feel really equipped. So anyways, yeah, so that's an interesting point, like a more tango related point, right? So there's like discharge of weight, yeah, and so those are all like tango related points that I would like to work on someday. And yeah, and then one point that was really interesting was like technology, right? Like this is, I'm putting stuff on video and on the internet, and it is maybe a bit of a conflict with tango, and I had the opportunity to work with a famous dancer earlier this year, and he had told me, well, tango is like contagious. I don't know how to say it was in Spanish, but it's basically like it's contagious through contact, like a contagious disease, like contact. But anyways, yeah, and so like, even though I'm starting to present information from teachers I've had, or I'm talking about things that I'm working on, really, yeah, you need to have the person touch you, I think, in person to really understand the tango. So like, so here, also for this session, yeah, so I warned that this session is going to be a longer one, so suddenly I have a lot I want to talk about, even though I had to procrastinate it. Anyway, so, yeah, so I made a list of the teachers I'm taking classes with. Like, there's a couple names that still pop up that I didn't include, And so, I mean, I'm starting to share basically 1 or 2 tips from teachers, and basically, and asking permission to do that. And basically, like, I mean, the thing is, for each little thing that I have to say that seems like magic tricks to me, and sometimes they help me a lot, they have like 10 million more. And also, like, you really need to have personal contact with them where they tell you something and then they come and they touch you and then somehow everything is like magically fixed, right? So anyways, that's another point I wanted to make about technologies and teachers and how tango is a very personal dance. So let's see. Okay, yeah, I think that's all the more theoretical part I wanted to talk about. And today, for the actual topics, I wanted to talk about, well, go back to like the hip area. So in the first live video, I talked about the hip region, which is, I think, one of my worst problem areas. And so we're going back to like this area over here. I think there's some like notifications getting in. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, well, anyways, yeah, I see there's like messages arriving, but anyways, is it telling me something is terribly wrong? Well, if it is, I don't know. Keep going. Anyways, okay, so what do I want to say? Oh yeah, so today, I think I kind of had a breakthrough. So based on information that came from, well, combining information from, can you see me? Yeah, so from Stella Missè, which is one, like I already mentioned, one tip from her, which was like the shoulders and to keep them level, and then it was like, I mean, she was like super diosa, and there's like so much information she can give that's specific, and I'm like, well, you know, so it seems so basic, and but anyways, yeah, so anyways, like another tip from Stella, and also now something else from Monica Parra and something from Corina de Rosa today, all about like this region, which I think like combined really like solved a lot of problems for me suddenly. Like it has solved me. It has solved a while ago. Then for about a week it went away, and I was like really devastated again. And then I think today I found it again. So, anyways, let's see, which song are we on right now? Yeah, we're doing pretty well. Okay, so this is only the second song. So, okay, so the first thing I want to talk about the hips is that, I mean, I have a terrible problem with hips because like they usually are blocked. So they all move as like one block, and especially when I'm walking like this way, I mean, like things like open up. Like basically I cannot use this area correctly. And also like I tend to lose my balance, like especially on the left side. I don't know if it's because of like I have my purse here, and then something is, like, I mean, there's a lot of time you have it there. So, but anyways, like on the left side, I tend to like collapse and lose my balance this way, and then this goes, and then everything else is like crap. So especially in the embrace, right, we're like usually here, and so whenever there's anything this side, I mean, I feel like this side just completely collapses in like a back full chill, and I don't know. But anyways, there was a tip that Stella mentioned that I mentioned before in previous classes, but the last workshop that I've gone to, she says she works with a line. Oh, this is like a new tool, so no flowers today. We have like a red arrow. So, you know, Stella gets to class, she's all perfect, you know. So, you know, she gets there and then she says, well, you know, she works with a line that's the same line as the column, and this line, like, goes down straight to the ground. Yeah, so she shows this, like, you know, there's a line that goes straight to the ground, you know. Anyways, so, and the point of that is that, you know, she says that a lot of people end up walking, you know, when they're walking forward and backwards, they're too focused on, you know, changing their weight to the base leg, free leg, blah, 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 all those tango concepts that I haven't really talked about here because I think it gets a little too complicated. I can't deal with it yet. But anyways, so with this line here, so I made like an actual physical representation of the line here. So here you go. And so she said the point is like sometimes when you walk, you end up moving, like going from one side to the other because you're trying just so hard to transfer your weight to the base leg. And so like look here, for example, I've actually moved my weight over here, and then I move my weight over here, which I actually end up doing usually when I walk. So now, if I'm thinking really about having this line like go all the way down to the floor, right? Like if I'm on this leg, this line stays here. Usually this happens, right? So if I'm thinking about this here, this leg, somehow it really helps me keeps my balance, right? And then also on this side. Yeah, so this problem doesn't happen anymore. Or like, I mean, I guess if you're lifting up the other hip, you can really see, right? So like really think that there is like a line that, I mean, I could probably like tie a string and a weight. Oh, but anyways, no. Actually having it kind of stuck on my belly kind of helps. So this line actually really helps me in the ochos too. So in the ochos, I mean, I'm thinking this line stays straight. I mean, you can't see it, right? So this line stays straight, and it stays straight like throughout the whole thing, right? So if I'm, oh gosh, I can't really show this. Yeah, it really helps me stay fine on this base right here. Usually what happens is I step and this goes here and then this ocho does like some crazy thing. So anyways, if I'm thinking for this line, I can't do it. So anyways. And also here, well, probably like another topic, right? Because I mean, how am I pivoting and what is a pivot? And am I dissociating to face the guy? I mean, well, I guess those would be like actual tango topics that I don't really want to deal with yet. But for now, like, just it helps me stay in balance to think about this line, and also throughout the ocho, like whether you're thinking about dissociating, either dissociate. Yeah. Oh look, there we go. So if I try to dissociate, I guess what happens a lot is this thing, right? Yeah. So dissociate, and this line stays straight. I mean, I guess it could move a little bit, but instead of like this thing, which is what I usually do. Yeah, so dissociating. Yeah. So, yeah, so that's one line that I like to think about. And also another breakthrough, well, part of the breakthrough was that I also go to classes by Monica Parra and Lujan. They have a class that maybe longer after in Fulgor. Oh, low battery. I mean, yeah, I have to procrastinate so much that my cell phone runs out of battery while it's waiting for me to transmit. Anyways, okay, so one of the helpful tips that Monica gave me once was that, yeah, I think my hips like fluctuate a lot. I'm either like in close embrace and I step too far and then I get stuck and then something like this happens. Or when I bend my knees, like this horrible thing happens where like this thing happens. So like this, because it's also like, I mean, I just kind of have this part as a block. It's really hard for me to do this. Anyways, she came over and she said, well, why don't you think about keeping your hips in the middle? So like, you know, just kind of find like in the middle of yourself. So like, so now like, you know, Stella was talking more about like this. If you're looking at this straight, so now we're talking about like more like, oh yeah, so more like here, right? So this also stays. So like this shouldn't go like this or like this. I mean, I guess it could a little bit. Like all of these are like ideas to have like a kind of like. I mean, the way Stella explained it was kind of like as if like you know the way she demonstrates it, she's like this goes straight down, right? So I'm just like something is like pulling down from there, and it's not like it's not like a rigid fixed thing. But anyways, so I like to keep the hips kind of in the middle. So even if the legs are moving, even if your torso is moving, even if your like torso is going in a different direction, whatever. So the hips stay in kind of like the middle position here. Where sometimes we get stuck about thinking, hey, let's do dissociation exercise and let's try to keep hips facing one direction and the torso other. But then like weird things, like say hips this direction and the torso other, whatever, this way then. And then like weird things happen even though they're still facing forward. Or weird things happen. So yeah, it really helped me. And also like back to that point where like tango is contagious, or should be contagious, I guess. It's like, you know, she comes, Monica came over and like kind of held me here, and then, you know, she, oh, Senita. All the, so I have a zoo now, because I'm taking care of a couple of pets for a friend who's on a trip. But anyways, they've all broken through the Great Wall. Anyways, so what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, So it's contagious, and she comes over and then holds, and you know, to have somebody like kind of just hold you a little bit here and have it stay in the middle, you know, kind of really helps. So that like really helped to like center, I guess, or align my hip area. So now like thinking about and whether I'm like bent or not, you know, like do it, I go down, think about the hip the same, try to think about just being here, as opposed to like here or here with the hips, right? So this line goes straight down, this line kind of stays down, right? Like the hips are kind of here in what Monica calls like the middle. And so now here we have, do we end? This has been like a super long session. Well, anyways, okay, yeah, I think this took a little bit longer than I had planned. And weird things are popping up on my cell phone. So actually the thing I wanted to say by Corina kind of has something to do with this region as well. But I think I'm going to say it in the next one. And yeah, okay. So anyways, thanks again. If anybody's watching, thanks for watching. And until the next one, which will also be pretty soon since it's supposed to be 3 per week. And it's already Thursday, so I guess in the next couple days I'll be transmitting again. Okay, bye.